Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to team meeting number 72. And in today's team meeting, we're going to be discussing. Rob, what are we going to be discussing?
Let me pull up the agenda. We are going to be talking about the technical issue, the shutdown last week that happened between us and Canvas and Structure. I'm going to introduce Dr. Bruce Johnson, who's joining us on our team. We're going to talk about the semester starting for Burlington College and some of the other initiatives we have with new institutions. And I also want to talk about a little bit of some of the things that we need from faculty and students and what we're working on. And then I also want to talk, let me first say that if you'll notice, Dan Kirk, who is normally here, is not. Dan's going to take a little bit of a sabbatical. He's starting a new job with the University of Vermont. And Dan is our Director of Operations. He's still going to be working with us, but he can't make this time. If just a little bit of background, all of you guys know at Oplerno we're sort of in pre-seed funding. We've been bootstrapping this operation for the last year and a half, and we're just starting to get traction. But we also all need to feed ourselves, and so all of us have something else that we do on the side that brings in cash and helps us out in terms of paying the bills. So Dan's got to take a little bit of time from us so that he can focus back in, so he can focus on that new job. And we'll be excited to have him back after the sabbatical, because everybody knows we love Dan and we are very dependent on his expertise and skill.
Yeah.
Okay.
So dependent. I mean, without him, we're completely lost.
Not quite. He's done a good bit of documentation, but I'm definitely seeing different things piling up, which is.
I'm serious. I mean, if he's extremely good at what he does. He's very good with helping faculty members out with their courses. He really.
Setting us up with all the contracts and also keeping us, you and I, honest with some of our crazy ideas.
I think that's probably the most important thing. Do you remember Woodblock last year that we decided spontaneously to organize it? I think.
Yeah. Well, and I think he also vetoed calling it Oplerno Palooza, which he thought was absolutely horrible, or that might have been you. But
no, I think he vetoed that, but then I came with Woodblock, and it was just couldn't. I gave him this whole spiel about carving higher education into your into whatever you wanted to cover. But he thought that was fantastic. But of course.
So what I want to do today is I want to introduce with you someone who's been working with us for the last month, but who hasn't been able to attend our team meetings. Is Dr. Bruce Johnson. Dr. Johnson has an amazing background in terms of also with faculty support and development and also media, and has worked in higher ed in all kinds of different venues, from teaching, faculty support, recruitment development, and also admissions. So we're really happy to have Dr. Bruce with us, and introduce yourself and add in a couple of other tidbits if you want to share where you live and all of that.
Sure. Welcome, everyone. Hello, I'm Dr. J, and it's very exciting to be a part of the Oplerno team. If you've been following Oplerno on social media, you've probably noticed a little bit of change in strategy. And if it's okay, Rob, I'll go ahead and share what I've been up to.
Absolutely.
Okay, but well, first, to give you an idea about me, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, so I'm in the middle of the United States, and still experiencing summer here. And but what I'm doing now with Oplerno is more focused on social media. So what I'm trying to do is brand management primarily, working on sending out a consistent message to raise awareness about Oplerno among educators, faculties, authors, bloggers, and potential students. And to do this, we've got to engage with the potential audience, interact with them, and share resources. And so that's really the strategy that I'm working on now, but that's only part of it. Now, as everyone knows, Oplerno is in its startup phase right now. So this really requires the involvement of everyone who is signed on as a faculty member. So what this means is that your involvement in social media is also necessary for the success of Oplerno, as well as your success as a faculty member. So the question then is, how do you become actively involved in social media? Well, you would follow the same strategy that I'm using. First, build a following. Second, follow other educators, institutions, authors, and bloggers that are relevant to both education and higher education. Number 3, share resources. And number 4, interact with your followers. Now, there are some other important components that I can give you too as well. If you have a class that's ready to start promoting it as part of your weekly social media strategy. If you have a class under development, you can start promoting it now. What I did was to create a PowerPoint presentation for each of my classes, and then I added audio to it, converted it or saved it as a media file, uploaded it to Windows Media, and then shared it on YouTube. So that's a good way to promote your class as well. And then also, as part of your social media strategy, you should be promoting Oplerno and its mission as well, and help get the message out about Oplerno and who we are and what we're doing. And so this is really a strategy that needs to be managed more than just, say, once a week or once a month. It really requires your active engagement at least every other day. So if you would like assistance, you are welcome to contact me direct at bjohnson@oplerno.com. And if you send me your social media links, I can provide you with feedback, tips, and strategies to help you succeed. So again, I'm very excited to be part of the team, and if I can help you get started with social media, please don't hesitate to contact me direct.
Yeah, of course, and especially valuable is if you've noticed on the Oplerno feed that we retweet a lot of things that Dr. Johnson is doing, or Bruce has been putting on. But this is also because he does something smart, and he tags, as in every tweet or any message that he does, he tags Oplerno in that. And there are lots of faculty members who actually tag Oplerno in their messaging, and that means that we see it almost immediately. We don't have to go out and search for it, and we can retweet these things. And we can, so if whatever you're broadcasting, whatever you're tweeting out, and whatever you're putting on Facebook or Google Plus or whatever, or LinkedIn or whatever you're doing, if you mention us in there, then we'll see it, and then we can also share it with our following, so that it gets an even wider reach. And as soon as it comes on the Oplerno, of course, then we see it. Dr. Bruce sees it. Rob sees it, I see it, and so we can also send it out. We can also rebroadcast it into our network, so we get an even wider reach. And hopefully, you'll do the same things for a fellow faculty member. So.
Good point.
Yeah, we're really excited to have Dr. Johnson with us, Dr. J, our own outside shooter. For those of you who are old and will know the reference to the awesome basketball player from the 76ers back in the 70s and 80s. So we're really happy to have him with us, and it's going to really help us get out the message of what Oplerno is, as we are able then, Daniel and I, to concentrate more on recruiting institutions and putting things on YouTube, and also dealing with the whole internal pieces that need to get done in terms of contracts and working with faculty. Although Dr. Bruce and Linda Kaiser are excellent in terms of that. So I want to just do a short shout out. Remember that the semester starts for Burlington College, and we would really like you all to remember that your courses can now be placed in front of another educational institution that is regionally accredited. And I had a nice meeting with 2 other faculty members about they're working on recruiting a community college in the Midwest who is also interested in having Oplerno classes listed on their course catalog. So one of the things with as we're trying to build traction and build Oplerno and get more students is remember that there are lots of institutions that don't have large course catalogs or access to the kind of faculty that we've already created over the past year and a half and those materials. And the really great thing about it is, again, those are available and owned by our faculty, and faculty can, again, charge what they would like and receive, again, they'll receive at least 80% of the tuition revenue that's generated in the course. So if you know of an educational institution that's looking for some content, looking for potentially people to teach or the development of a new certificate or program, please give me a call. Send that to skiff@oplerno.com, and I'll work with you and help you, give you the information about us and help you sort of reach out and contact those people. And of course, we can always figure out some sort of way to make that type of recruitment worth your while in terms of just in terms of institutional recruitment. In terms of admissions, as you know, there are rules and regulations regarding paying people to recruit students in the U.S., and we're not going to do that. Obviously, we're not going to violate any kind of rules or regulations with our accreditors, but we're really excited to work on reaching out to institutions and having them also become part of the Oplerno network. Okay, so last week we had a bit of a snafu with our Canvas partners in the LMS, and Daniel, why don't you go through that and go through it with a fine-tooth comb, because I know there were a fair amount of faculty who were having, and students who were having trouble logging on. And so can you basically go and tell what happened and then what the resolution, warts and all, transparency is important.
Yeah, exactly. Well, on last week Friday, or no, sorry, not last week Friday, but the week before that, so that's the, which day was that? The 17th or the 18th? But Rob noticed some downtime. We have certain alerts set up so that we can see that there is when things go wrong or when things fall over or when.
Yeah, it was 11:39 p.m. when my blood pressure started to spike.
Yeah, and of course for me that was 6-7 hours later, so I was fast asleep at that point in time, so I didn't get any message about that, I was alerted to it the next day, and on this that was a Friday evening of EST, and so Saturday morning in Central European time, and then on Saturday I got notified of it in the evening because I'd gone off for the weekend, or at least for the Saturday, and then I did my best to triage what was going wrong, and we discovered fairly soon that it wouldn't be possible. Also, due to what a bit of my activities on Saturday, I wouldn't be able to keep myself bring everything up with and ensure safety for the whole system. So we decided to move the actual reparations after I discovered what was the issue to Sunday. And so Sunday, I sent out a message to Canvas asking them if they could contact me to come and help me with the situation. And then I started fixing a number of things in there. Sadly, all my fixes weren't complete. I could only do partial fix on what it was, but there was because Canvas had added a security check which was even more strict than it was before, and in mine, although I haven't audited their code completely, I don't know if it was completely necessary. Their opinion was that it was completely necessary, so I don't know enough of their code to be able to confirm or deny that. However, that did mean that we had an outage. Or that we discovered that we had an outage because of this. And so on Monday, I tried to reach them, tried to get them to talk to me. Sadly, and for me, quite annoyingly, they're on mountain time, so which means that they don't come online until I decided till my 6 p.m. for me, so which was unhandy for me, and so I worked all through Monday evening trying to solve it, and then into Tuesday morning, and then I think it was Tuesday we still didn't have it solved. I think it was Wednesday, I believe, that we finally got it solved. That we finally got the issue solved, and then on Wednesday we got a patch from Canvas because they said yeah, sorry, we made this huge mistake, and my knowledge of SAML isn't excellent. They have far more knowledge of the internal workings. I know enough to hook it up and make sure that it's secure, but would they know where all the bits in the bytes go? So then they created a patch for us. They committed it to Oplerno, or they sent it to me by email. I committed it to Oplerno, and I immediately applied it. And so then I think it was at 11 o'clock Central European time, we were back online, and everything worked again, which was made me very happy.
Lesson: if you're running SAS, don't apply new security patches unless you tell your customers and all of them about what you're doing.
Yeah, there was one of the big issues, of course, with this isn't so much that they had put in informed us that they were doing a security update. The problem was that they decided to inline a different security update in there, and which the first one would have been fine if we wouldn't have had very many issues from that. It's just that the second one wasn't. For us, it was an issue. There were according to Canvas, there were very few or no other customers who had this issue. Only us. This added to whatever security bug they'd already, other security change they'd already made, or configuration change they'd already made. Really broke it for us. I think I'm trying to get it in front of me now. Canvas. This is also this is the statement that Canvas also sent us to share with you. So last Friday, August 24th, Last Friday, August 24th, Instructure deployed a critical change to Canvas to address a potential security issue. This change had the unintended consequence of disrupting Canvas login process for Oplerno users. Instructure and Oplerno have been working together to resolve this issue as quickly as possible. And your users should again have access to the course. Well, this was of course last week. We intended to send us an email to everybody, but I think everybody has been informed through other channels as well now.
Yeah. So we'll actually probably have a little description of that in the September update, just to keep people informed.
Yeah.
So
for me, lessons learned is to their deployment. The way Canvas does certain deployments is they deploy it on once in a testing area, which we have access to, and in the production area. And so probably I need to have some kind of system whereby I can test their test releases against my production release. Something like that. So, but this probably mean more machines and more work for me. So at the moment, the chances of disruption are small enough that we can. For 99% of the time, we won't have any issues. This is one of these. This is one of these 1% of the time that everything basically falls over. And I think that.
Well, this is the first real, outage that we've experienced in.
Yeah, in 1.5 years.
3 years. 1.5 years. 2 years since we were kind of playing with it. And so we're happy. That's not. Look, that's a great ratio, and now we have the protocol. So when something does go wrong, we know how to quickly get in touch with the people who can make the decisions. And the way both they handled it by recognizing what they'd done, and the way we handled it by giving them all the documentation and all the code, means that we built up a certain level of trust with those guys in terms of being good partners.
Yes,
and that will bode well.
No, we both
that'll bode well for later.
Sorry.
Oh no, that'll bode well for later when we try to implement even more things.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, we both Instructure and Oplerno both realized that we have there were things which were missing in our protocols, and we're adjusting the protocols so that we can actually ensure that things like this don't happen anymore, or at least we reduce the chance of this happening, even if to once every 4 years rather than once every 2 years.
Okay, well that's great. Let's go to the last little piece, which is I want to talk a little bit about what I need, what I'm looking for this next 2 weeks. I'll talk about it again next week. Is that I need to figure out a way to find speakers of languages other than English who are willing to develop courses in Oplerno in those native languages. While I speak some Spanish, and Daniel speaks several different languages, and we've been in contact with people in different parts of the world. We've got to figure out a way to re-energize those, because there's a couple of projects that we're going to be applying, projects that we're going to be, how do I put this? Projects we're going to be applying for that have a great potential to help, but not all of those help other people and attract students and businesses, etc. But what they're not necessarily based just in English. And so if you have friends who are faculty members who speak another language other than English, please have them get in contact with me. And it can be in, if they send me a message in any language, I'm actually pretty good at contacting my network of translators and such to be able to deal with pretty much almost anything. So send me that at skip@oplerno.com, and we'll start sending you some more information. Another piece is Woodblock, our blog, and Woodblock 2015, which was our conference, is going kind of year-round now. And what we're going to be doing is adding content to the Woodblock 2015 site, which is going to be turning into kind of a blog and a place where people can write and submit articles, etc. So if you have an article, or you want to write something about your class, or something about online education, or an issue in higher ed, then please send it to us at woodblock@oplerno.com, and we'll take a look at it and put it up. That's going to be launching in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And we're going to be putting some more stuff on, including a really interesting interview that I'm going to be recording tomorrow with a guest from Latin America, which we'll talk about when it's posted. All right? So give you kind of a little sample. Hey, come back. Check out what we're doing. Okay, so that's about it for the open meeting. Again, please, if you have any questions, send them to questions@oplerno.com, and we'll see you online, and thank you for joining us.
Great, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you online. Bye.
Yeah, nice to introduce myself to all of you and meet all of you, and look forward to working with you.